Hey everybody, CyberKnife here again with another video, this time about my new overpowered toy, the KV-1S. And I'm going to be talking a little bit about how to more effectively avoid artillery. I've noticed I'm getting into a lot more games that have 5 artillery on each team in my sessions. So I think we're starting to get away from some of those 8.5 nerfs for whatever reason. I'm not going to really go into that, but we're seeing more artillery. I think we all know it. So what we need to do is kind of practice up and polish up our artillery avoidance skills. Now, a little bit about the KV-1S. God damn, it's overpowered. I've only got about 33 games in this. I'm running like a 61, 62, 65% win rate, whatever. Kind of fluctuates a little bit when you're that low. I play it fast and aggressive even when I'm not exactly top tier, like as in this game we have. Looks like on each team we have let's see, yeah, tier 7s, 3 on each side. The other ones are not too devastating. T25 I'm not too afraid of. Now look at this. I believe this is one of the first shots this is my first game I believe I ever played in this tank. This is why I'm showing it to you. And I'm platooning with my regular platoon mates, Tanky Bear and Teufelhund. And right off the bat, I'm really liking it. This thing has a dispersion at 100 meters of 0.46, which is pretty damn awful compared to what I'm usually playing. I'm not going to take that shot with 0.46 dispersion. I'm just kind of measuring. See how I feather it between the rock and the target? I'm just kind of checking how much space I have there is what I'm doing. But no intention to fire that close. I let Tanky Bear finish that shot off. But this tank, it has, it's not exactly monstrous. I mean, it does have a 0.46 dispersion, and that 3.5 second aim time slows you down. But look at this, right through this mantlet. Look at this, no respect. Right in the face. That's a high roll, too. You're averaging 390. Now, I'm aware now artillery is on me. So I'm going to show you in a minute how to avoid artillery. I look over now, and I say, oh, geez, you got an M44 taking shots at me. And it looks like I'm going to check, and I'm going to say, yeah, that M44 didn't. Okay, now I'm getting around the call. I will talk about the M44 a little bit later because this is getting a little bit more interesting right here. So I took a smack from that T-34. He can pen you pretty darn easily. So basically, I'm going to sit back a little bit and I'm going to let Eric work on them, and hopefully I'm going to pull these guys, kind of kite them around the corner, or one of my teammates is going to herp a derp up and give them something to shoot at, and they'll come around and get excited. But either way, I'm going to try to sell my life a little more dearly. Give the old double tap there with Teufelhund taking the kill on that easy 8. We're going to work this corner a little bit. Believe it or not, this is my first game I ever played in this tank, I swear to God. That's how overpowered it is. There goes an M6. Now I'm a little worried. I'm telling Eric, be careful of this T-3485, and he did get penned there. I believe it set off his automatic fire extinguisher. Nothing going there. Now actually, looking back on this, I kind of screwed Eric here. It didn't really calculate in my head. He had less health, so I took the easy way on this guy. I decided to take an easy shot here, and I put myself between left. Well, Eric, he went around the left side there and got tagged by that 150, and I should have engaged that guy. So anyway, but Eric put a lot of damage on him before he went out. So I'm going to try to get one more shot on this M6 before I lose him to cover, but don't make it. And I decide, actually, I'm going to push on and take this M6 because, see, look at this. We've already got a Panther, that tier 7, and the M6 behind here. So this is one of the advantages and what makes this KV-1S so powerful. It's really not heavy in my opinion. It's a medium. So here's where we can get into counter arty. I'm going to go and just schwack this Thumper 284 M6 here. No problem. That's not what we're worried about. But right now I am aware that artillery is all over me, and I am lit. So watch this here. I'm waiting for artillery to fire, and I don't want to stop. I'm deliberately not stopping, maintaining. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Any second. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I think artillery's, this is an M44, he's at 30, that was at 5, any second now. There he was. So what you can do with artillery like this, if you know that the M44 fires just under 2 rounds a minute or whatever, just over 2 rounds a minute, you're looking at a reload time that varies with crew, but you can roughly say 25 to about 25 seconds is when you need to start worrying about getting launched on. So basically, what I do is I'll give a count time of about 25 seconds to if now this only works if you know what's firing at you, and obviously the lead times, and how long they're going to dial in and things like that. But the best way to do it, I think, is just to start a count like that. And I know that he's that M44 is going to be able to take a shot at me every 30 seconds roughly. So about every 25 seconds, I want to be up to speed and moving. So that's why I did that. As soon as I see that shot drop, I will start counting off like that. And when I get to about 20 to 25, that's when I got to start thinking about moving, because that's whenever you stop and dial in, that's when artillery is stopping and dialing in on you. They don't like to take shots at moving objects. They like to wait for you to stop and dial in, and that's when they dial in on you. Or they'll pre-dial in on a spot, hoping you'd bumble into it, and then, they'll go ahead and launch on you. So what I like to do is I like to just make sure that if I stop and take a shot like that, a lot of times you'll see that I'll shoot and then I'll pull backwards quickly, almost automatically, even if I'm not under threat. For no reason, I'll just suddenly reverse after I shoot, especially if I've stopped and dialed in. It's not a snapshot. Because pretty much what you're doing is just offering artillery something to shoot at. If you stop, you're lit. You dial in, you fire, and then you continue to sit there. You're just letting them take a free and easy shot on you. So we successfully went back and defended. Now we know that we've got the M44 that we've been playing with coming, and that T25, that Tier 7 TD up here to clean up. Unexpectedly bump into the M44 here. Here I'm just kind of rushing ahead, and I want to I know I can't aim the shot yet. I've got the T25 to my left. I know he's looking at me still, so I decide to take a rush. I'm not worried, though. They have to dial in. Nowhere even close. They have to dial in, and you just got to risk it. Now, here's a shoot, don't shoot scenario for you. Look how slow my gun turns. It went around the wrong axis. I hate it when it does that. I would not take this shot right here. And you'll see what I'm talking about. You got to really, if you don't want to kill your teammate, especially on low health like that, end of the game, I want to save this guy, but in this TD will definitely kill him. But, I really don't want to do team damage. So what I do is I wait a little bit until I can get his ass. See, like that. And that's an easy shot. So anyway, early impressions on the KV-1S. It's pretty overpowered. I enjoy it. I actually get bored with it if I play it, more than 2 or 3 games in a row. It gets a little bit redundant. The 122 millimeter is pretty devastating, but you really want to make sure that you let it dial in all the way. Don't snapshot with it unless you're just, broadside of a barn close, and not even really inside of a barn close, you know what I mean? 175 pen on it is decent with regular ammunition. I almost never fire gold with it. The gold will get you over 200 into like 215, 217, something like that. This is the KV-1S, of course, goes on to the IS-7, which is kind of, I haven't really played either the IS-7 or IS-4 at Tier 10 yet, but from what I'm seeing as they're played against me, I'm leaning towards the IS-7 pretty heavily, so that's why I think I'm going to be spending a little bit more time with our new overpowered friend here working up that tree. So anyway, the only other thing about this I'll say is you want to keep this angled pretty well. You don't have to do that with a lot of Soviet hardware, but this one I would say definitely do it. 75 millimeters is not a whole lot, and use your mobility. The mobility is your best armor in this thing. 60 on the sides is not going to do a lot for you. No side scraping or anything like that. But I don't really need to review the KV-1S. Everybody knows about that. I'm a little late to the game. I never was really that interested in it. I go up against these things a lot, and I know it is fun to play for a couple of I almost consider it seal clubbing in a way, even off tier like this. So anyway, a couple of good ideas about counting out artillery if you know it. Get to know those. Get to know the reload times of artillery, especially common ones that you'll see a lot in that you're meeting over and over. Find out how many rounds a minute they fire, and then figure it out. If I'm only facing one, or if they both fire, I know that I have 20 seconds, 30 seconds. Is it a rapid fire? Does it have a magazine? Is it a tier 10? You know what I mean? Just get to know your opponent a little bit, and that'll really give you a lot more flexibility as far as tactics and what you can get away away with, you know. So anyway, hope you enjoyed it. Catch you on the next one. Semper Fi. Throw me a like or a sub if you enjoyed it. I'm going to be doing a lot more content as I'm moving up now through the higher tiers. I've got a few that are getting ready to go to tier 10, and I'm going to start doing a few more, what ifs and other videos on that. So anyway, have a good one. Thanks.